Alright, so welcome back. Today I'll be doing the weekly forecast as usual. So let's start off with the dollar, right? So for the dollar, as you can see, we have a weekly closure below this fair value gap and this fair value gap as well. So my targets are focused on this relative equal lows and eventually this south side into the consequent encroachment of the monthly BC. Right, so this is the monthly chart right here. It would be within this breaker and then there is a BC right here, so I believe we're going to reach into the 50% of it. Okay, so this is for the dollar, right? On the daily you can even see that there is a fair value gap formed right here. Okay, slightly below the weekly fair value gap. It might spike up into it because we have a volume imbalance right here, but I don't want to see dollar closing above, I think, this level here. This is a order block and this high here should be kept intact until we attack the lows down here. Okay, in short term wise we still have this fair value gap that is left untagged, so that could be the first objective for next week. Okay, I want to see if we can punch through the levels by next week. All right, so let's head over to the euro dollar. Right, so bearish on dollar means bullish on euro, right? So euro, similarly to dollar, closing above 2 CBs of the weekly levels, right? So I'm anticipating support within this area here and then punch through the sell side into this volume imbalance, and we do have this sell side liquidity here above the volume imbalance, and I think this right around the consequent encroachment of this whole volume imbalance. Okay, so on the daily time frame we have a fair value gap as well. I don't think price is gonna trade beyond this level here, but we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see how the market, where the market opens basically. All right, but my bias is of course bullish euro dollar. Okay, heading down to the equities. Right, so we have, let's see, ESU 2023. Start off with S&P 500. Alright, so over here on a weekly basis, I think it's gonna reach up into this volume imbalance right here with the the buy side liquidity right down here at around 45.52, and maybe we close up the entire so-called gap. Okay, so on the daily time frame, just to mention this little green line, this is the breaker. Okay, the weekly breaker. How is it a breaker? Low, lower low, and then the high that made this low closed above. So this right down, this green candle right here, this is a bullish breaker. Okay, any retracements into these levels here, they are all longing opportunities, but I think we're gonna start trending higher now. Okay, so next let's drop into the daily. Right, so on the daily time frame we have this volume imbalance right here, which is previous week's new week opening gap. Okay, and we have a daily fair value gap right here, lines up nicely with the breaker. Okay, so I want to see if we can reach into that level, right? So if it is able to come down here, then I think it would be a good setup, but of course everything depends on the weekly open, and I will need to trade accordingly, right? And let's drop into the 4 hours. Right, 4 hours we have equal lows down here, but I think these two fair value gaps will be enough to send the price higher. Okay, if it was to come down here then higher, then I think it's a high resistance liquidity run, just like what we have for the past few weeks or months, right down here. So I don't really want to see that. I don't really want to see the seek and destroy conditions, right? It'd be nice if you can just punch through, right? So I'm anticipating next week to be a somewhat of a salad day week, salad easy days, you know, those kind of trending days whereby you just do the power of three on daily, open, drop, buy, and then spring higher. Okay, and as well as we have a daily fair value gap right here as well, so this would be noted. Okay, but I won't note it down on this on this chart, so right, to keep it cleaner, because I don't even know where the market is going to open next week, right? So I'll just see how it goes. So on Nasdaq, weekly time frame, right, no data, so we're gonna go for the continuous contract, right? So I believe this is gonna be the target right here for Nasdaq. The blue shaded area is actually the monthly CB. Okay, we have unfilled inefficiencies above this swing high here, so I believe we're gonna tap into it. Okay, and then we'll see what happens then, right? All-time highs, new all-time highs, I'm not too sure, but I am sort of anticipating the dollar to take out the lows here and then reverse back up. Okay, so right now over here, I'm looking at this as a, how would I call it, as a seek and destroy. Okay, back and forth, we have much larger anticipation, of a retracement than anticipated, and then we dropped. I think if we take out this, then of course we're in a high resistance liquidity runs. So if that's the case, I'm expecting dollar to do something like this, take out the sell stops, and then reverse back up, right? So because we are trading in this range here, this is why I think that we're in a higher time frame, high resistance liquidity runs. It generated this, engineered this sell side right here, right? And then it punched through, making everybody think that making everyone think that it's bullish, and then it's gonna come back down to take out the sell stops, take out anyone who's long here, and then everybody was gonna think that the dollar's bearish, and after that, punch it through with speed. I think this right here should have lots of speed. That is what I'm anticipating. Okay, if the dollar is to punch through, all right. And I think, yeah, that's it for this video. For ES, I'll just focus on this high here. Okay, monthly chart, we have this order block, the monthly order block, right? Tag into this order block, and then we see some form of retracements. So right here, I'm just gonna annotate it down to watch how the monthly closes. This would be the mean threshold of this bearish order block. Okay, I'm just gonna note down to see how this month closes, whether is it above or below. As long as the month's closure is below, then I would anticipate bearishness. Okay, but if we close above, then I'll be looking potentially at this swing high right here. Okay, and if we were really gonna reach into that level, I would look at the mean threshold of the order block right here, and follow on, and so on. Okay, so just take it by level, and then ultimately it would be the all-time highs. So yeah, this would be my forecast for next week, right? Bullish on everything else except for dollar. Okay, and I'll see you guys in the next video, right? And good luck trading.